Hello, class. So, for this project, I will take a look at the area of health psychology, and the subject that I will focus on is stress management. In this lecture, we will take a look at what exactly is stress management, the importance of managing stress, how does stress affect you, who does it affect. We will also look at it at when are you most vulnerable to stress, ways to reduce it, and at the end of the lecture, I will pose my thought-provoking question. So let's begin. What is stress management? It is basically a broad scope of different method of dealing with and enduring one's personal stress level, especially chronic stress, using things and ways and system to improve your daily life. Why is stress management important? It is important because if it's not managed properly, it limits your capacity to think clearly, to function properly, and to enjoy your life. Chronic stress can greatly increase the likelihood of developing symptoms such as depressions, anxiety, and other mental health difficulties. When you are stressed, your relationship will most certainly be impacted. So you want to be able to not only identify stress, but also manage stress, because it ripple out into different areas of your life, your relationship, your mental health, your physical health. Living with high levels of stress puts your entire well-being at risk. Stress, it inflicts devastation on your emotional stability as well as your physical health. So it affects so many different areas of your life. So you want to really get a strong grip of managing not only stressors, identify stressors, but also managing when you're triggered or when these stressors are active. How can stress affect you? So there are certainly common signs that you can use to identify to help you manage your stress. Signs like headaches, overwhelming feeling, difficulty concentrating, frequent mood swings. So if you notice that throughout the day you're having a different stage of how you feel, or not just throughout the day, but throughout the week, throughout the month, different season. If you practice self-awareness and being aware of how do you feel at certain time, then that will give you signs and signals when something is off or when something is not normal for you as a person. If you're having trouble sleeping, if there's a change in appetite, if you notice that you're eating too much, or if you're eating too less, or you're not eating at all, then that may be an indication that something is off. Who does stress affect? Well, stress affects all systems of the body, including your respiratory system, your cardiovascular system, your endocrine, your nervous system, even your reproductive system. So if you have any of these systems, stress can affect you. That means anyone, right? It's not prejudice. It doesn't select a certain gender or a race. It can affect anyone. Our bodies are well equipped to handle stress in small doses. But when stress becomes long-term or chronic, it can have serious effects on your body. So it's good for you to know how to identify things that are triggering stress in you, stressors, like bills or running late to a meeting. These are small things that you could do to help yourself avoid stress. So if you know that you have, for example, a meeting scheduled to be at a certain time, and you know that you want to get a certain amount of rest, Because if you don't, you're going to either wake up late or you're going to wake up on time, but throughout the day, you're not going to be in a good mood. So you want to plan your day out. So you use an effective plan to either go to bed early and wake up early, take your time, get dressed, have like a routine or a ritual that will help you to move throughout your day. When are you most vulnerable to stress? You're most vulnerable to stress, like I suggest earlier, when you're running late for a meeting. So you have not an effective schedule. You put yourself at risk. When you're not getting enough sleep or enough rest, you put yourself at risk. If you don't have a strong web of support, you're at risk. Financial hardness, that's a big one, because if you know you don't have a certain amount in your account, and every time you go to the mailbox, you're seeing bills instantly, you're going to either have a headache or you're going to have a feeling of overwhelm, because you're thinking about, okay, how am I going to do this when I know this is what I have, this is what's coming in, and it's not matching up. So you're most vulnerable at stress when you're having financial difficulties. When you're not eating well, this creates stress for you because you need proper nutrition to nourish your body and to give you that feel-good energy. So when you're not getting the proper or the right amount of nutrients, you're putting yourself at risk for stress. Experiencing poor health. If you're sick, if you have a common cold, or if you have a chronic illness that you're not managing well, you're putting yourself at risk for stress. Experiencing a significant change, such as moving, losing a loved one, starting a new career, having a child, or getting married, these are things that could put you at a vulnerable position to experience stress. Just think about it. If you're moving and number one, you need to organize and pack your stuff. You have to figure out like different furnitures, what needs to go where, or even the process of finding a new home. That's stressful. So moving is one of the things that will put you vulnerable to stress. Getting married, that's you having to learn how to coexist with another person. You may not used to living with people. Maybe you've been single for a period of time and now you're having to share your space with someone else. That could evoke stress in you. Having a new baby, a newborn, having somebody else to care for and attend to, that could be very stressful, especially when you have a crying baby in the middle of the night and you're a new mom or a new dad and you don't know exactly what to do. That could be a stressful experience for you. So let's talk about some ways of which you can reduce stress. Number one, you could practice relaxation, whatever that looks like for you. You could either do yoga or mindfulness or practice being present, anything that brings you relaxation. That's one way to reduce stress. Proper nutrition, like we talked about, you need to eat food that gives you the right amount of nutrients. Physical exercise, find some type of activity that will allow you to move your body and burn off build up chemical that you're not using. Time management, like we talk about running late and running behind schedule. When you develop a system that will allow you to have a good time management, then it will prevent future stress. Self-care, whatever that looks like for you. Get it, whether it could be getting a manicure, a pedicure, getting your hair done, anything that makes you feel good, getting the right amount of water, right amount of rest, exercise, nutrients, anything that takes care of you, that will make you feel good about yourself and make you feel like you're taking care of yourself. That's self-care. And of course, getting the right amount of rest. So those are some ways you could use to reduce stress. Okay, so my thought-provoking question is, how would you describe your level of stress? So I need you to take a quick assessment, and in the comment section, I just need you to share with us, what do you think your stress level is? Describe it for us. Thank you.